Welcome, everyone, to another episode of You Only Live Once podcast. I am your host, Adiola, but you could call me Addie. Today, we are going to be talking about imposter syndrome and self sabotage. Yes, happy Black History Month. Okay. Um, I feel like we all we all go through it. We all be self-sabotaging and we all be imposturing. Okay? What sparked this conversation is that, sometimes I wake up and I be like, I don't know who the fuck I am. Okay? I don't know who I am. I'm learning who I am every day. Sometime. Especially last year. If you know anything about Chinese astrology, the year of the snake, that whole entire year was, this whole Chinese New Year, the year of the snake, was a transformative, fully transformative year where we went through an entire, like, life changing, soul essence changing event. And I know I did because I'm no longer that girl no more. um, the girl who did not believe in herself, the girl who did not try to dust herself off and try again. You know, I used to have a real bad habit of giving up when things got tough. And maybe because I'm getting older now and I'm entering my Saturn return, where putting in the work is actually attractive to me. Being committed to something, being committed to a dream, being committed to my own path is attractive to me. So I want to talk about this and discuss this because I know a lot of y'all are in your late 20s or coming into it, or you just entered your 20s, or you're older now and you're realizing the second new wave of your life. This new reinvention of who you are becoming. This doesn't just happen once. This happens many times. So many people go through cancer and they don't realize they're a whole new person after that. So many people go through having a child. They don't realize they're a whole new person after that. Some people get married. They don't realize they're a whole new person after that. You're no longer who you were before. You know, in certain traditions, once a woman has a child, the women of the tribe will bury her placenta. They'll bury something. I think it's the placenta. And they mourn her. They mourn the woman she was before she gave birth. Because she's no longer her anymore. She's gone. She's now a mother. She's now an ancestor. She now has furthered the bloodline. She's no longer that. So they mourn. Back in the olden days, they had real traditions that mourned transitions. They honored transitions, even the ones where you're still alive, not just death. We transition more than once throughout our lifetime. Girls who have gone through abortions, miscarriages, assault, all that kind of stuff, you are no longer who you were before that. You are somebody completely different. And this episode is to acknowledge our transformations, because through imposter syndrome, that is a transformation that is coming about. And yes, some foul things you may have gone through, or even just crazy things, or just like, damn, I've never been a mom before, or damn, I've never been in debt before, damn, I've never had to file for bankruptcy before. You're a whole different person now. And I feel like in imposter syndrome, when that does come up, when the transition does come up, you feel like you're not worthy for this new clean slate. You're not worthy to be, you feel like you're not worthy to be in the position that you're in. Hood Healer always says, don't let them trick you out of your spot. Facts. Don't let those intrusive thoughts trick you out of your spot. There is so much love that supports us day in, day out, whether we like it or not, from the Creator. Whether we like it or not. There's so much love. Those who came before us love us so much to this day. They love us. We have angels that love us. And it's this weird programming that makes us feel like, oh, we are not worthy of this love. Little did you know that love that's powering you through and making you feel like a little imposter, because it's like, oh my God, I've never been here before. What? But I'm being supported. I'm itching to keep going forward. I'm yearning for this, like, this drive that's coming through for me. Like, you don't realize, this is what I've been called to do. You don't realize how much love is supporting you, right? Right. I really believe that, you know, as we get older, I mean, I'm hoping, because there's some people who are old out there, they don't realize it, but my wish for anyone who's listening to this podcast, for us to understand, as we continue to grow, we grow with the love that surrounds us, the ones that we can't see, that we can't even understand, and keep on following our dreams, keep on following what makes us who we are, because we are always becoming. From one chapter to the next, we're always becoming, we're always evolving, we're always being. Even at the end. My dad long gone, but he is still coming through. Always, in so many different ways. Makes me cry. Now, realizing the season of imposter syndrome, or the intrusive thoughtness of imposter syndrome, can definitely instill self-sabotage. Now, to break down self-sabotage, if anybody has ever been through this, and you know that, I want you to challenge yourself to not do it to yourself anymore. Maybe. Self-sabotage is when you know something is good for you, but you kill it anyways. You dead it, anyway. And I really believe that people who have a tendency to be in self-sabotage frequencies, or just habit, they see the work that is required of them. So instead of going about to do the work that is required of them, they kill it. That's what self-sabotage is. Instead of going on the path to become someone different, they revert to what seemingly works out for them. This is also what settling looks like. This is also what not believing in yourself looks like. Self-sabotage. Like I said, I was once in that season of giving up on myself. That's self-sabotage. Not believing in yourself. That's self-sabotage. Not loving yourself. Self-sabotage. Once again, it happens. It happens. But you gotta recognize and realize what it is and why it's happening. And why are you afraid to do the work? Why are you afraid to put in the work that is required of you to become something better or greater? Something that requires you to be a grander version of yourself. And then it's beyond what you believe for you, what is possible for you as well too. It is what is destined for you. It's what the Creator put over you to become and to be. It's incomprehensible. It's something that your own human mind can't even understand. I don't know if Michael Jackson knew what the hell he was doing, but goddamn, 1,000 years from now, I bet you people are still gonna know him. Like, it was beyond him. Yeah, big superstar, all that, but beyond that. Okay, shoot, I still talk about Harriet Tubman to this day. beyond her years. She had no idea. But she didn't let self-sabotage come and take her from her destiny. Come and take her from her life. What she's supposed to be. All right? Now, a lot of people may succumb to self-sabotaging because it's a survival mechanism, but they don't realize if you like to be in the cycles and living the same life over and over again, you're not surviving. You're slowly destroying yourself. Okay? And I feel like some people don't want to let go of who they are to become something better or new or whatever. Like, I feel like these people are the ones that are not accustomed to falls from grace. Right? And they're not accustomed to losing or losing things. One of my greatest losses was my dad. Okay. That was hard. The hardest ever. And since then, I feel like that death definitely prepared me for dry seasons of fruit, this, that. Like, it made me comfortable with dead seasons, basically, so that I could understand, like, loss, letting go, transitioning, you know? So people who are not accustomed to that, or who are freshly in the grieving stages, still need to understand that, like, life is way more complex than what you think it is. Because we go through things. You know? So anyway, I'm jumping back and forth from obviously these two things. But just want you to know that you cannot compare even your falls from grace or just like your dry seasons or anything like that to what someone else has or what they're going through or how they're handling grief, stress, whatever. Okay? You cannot compare your transitional phase to anyone else's because it is yours. Nobody had the same relationship as you do to yourself or whatever the outside thing is. It is your special journey, right? And you don't need to be a professional at this either. Like, as far as imposter syndrome, at least, because I feel like we're programmed to think that we need all sorts of certifications and stuff just to prove our intelligence or prove that we know what the fuck we're talking about or who we are or whatever that is, to others or to whatever. Yes, in certain job places and stuff like that. But when it just comes to regular shit, none of us is clocked in. Nobody's getting paid for whatever. Some people really feel like they need the mainstream or just everybody else to validate what is who you are to become, right? Or who you are to be, right? I know I'm like this for sure. Because I want to tell you, hard time for me to try to believe in myself. It was so hard. Like, I didn't know. I just didn't know. I didn't know how or what, or I just didn't know. And I needed others to tell me, you know, I needed others to see me so I could see myself. That would happen a lot. And so if you are like this, please don't fall for that. Don't fall for it. Like I said in my previous episode, your community who loves you, that's the only kind of validation you should give somewhat some approval to, for sure. And yes, it just, anyways, having that is very, very important. And so my next thing here is to definitely sit with yourself when it becomes uncomfortable, or when you start to question everything, or you start to feel the backs and forths or the intrusive thoughts coming in, whatever that is, as far as you being an imposter or about to go down that same rabbit hole of self-sabotage. Please question it. Okay? Own it. Hey, this is a tendency that I tend to do when things get tough. This is a tendency that I tend to do when I think things aren't going to work out. Right? Own it. So you know what it is that you have to lose or gain from at least making a decision, because self-sabotaging, that's a choice, that's a decision. And identifying within being an imposter is also a choice and a decision. I feel like we need to train ourselves to recognize when it's a growth transition, when it is a new era for us to step into and be. I feel like we need to understand that and recognize what is what when it comes to that. So, food for thought, of course. I really wanted to, of course, put the emphasis on you only live once. Okay? You don't have time to be your own worst enemy. This is a message for everybody out there. No matter how old you are, you do not have time to be your own worst enemy. You do not have time to be your own worst enemy. You have to be on your side. You have to be on the side of love. You have to be on the side of life. Your life. The thing that keeps waking you up in the morning. Our heart is at the center of all of this. So listen to your heart, not to your ego, not to your mind, because sometimes our mind is not clear and we think that's what our heart is saying. But no, if you really put your hand over your heart, sit in the dark, close your eyes, or sit in the sun, close your eyes though, and really try to listen to your heart telling you you'll cry. And the answer will come. And also let it out too. Like, yeah, let it out. Cry it out. Let it out. But yeah, that's my little episode for today. Be sure to follow me everywhere you get your podcast. I am on Substack, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. I will be on all those other streaming platforms as well too eventually. But follow me everywhere on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. We're coming to Facebook as well too. So yeah, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely review my podcast. It gives me a lot of feedback to know what you guys like to hear and how I could do better as a podcaster. So yes, let me know. I've enjoyed today's conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed today's conversation. Please let me know. How have you self-sabotaged in your own life? How have you self-sabotaged in your own relationships or whatever? How did you believe that you were an imposter? I hope I was able to give you guys a new framework on what imposter syndrome really is and who you are becoming. Okay? It takes a lot of courage. It's a lot. But let me know what you think and everything, and definitely follow me everywhere on my other socials and everything like that. And yeah, today was nice. It was nice and touchy. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Tune in with me every single Monday, and throughout the week you'll be getting little clips of what the podcast consists of. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Ciao.